This is absolutely insane, as ESPN's lead insider has given us a bunch of updates on the Knicks' number one offseason priority, and we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Knicks Basketball 365. If you're a New York Knicks fan, please hit that subscribe button. Only 6% of viewers are subscribed to the channel, and it really helps me out a ton. But let's jump right into what we got for today. It is no secret that the New York Knicks have a high level of interest in Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. However, up until this point, the Bucks have been unwilling to move their superstar, but over the course of the last couple months, Shams Charania, ESPN's number one basketball NBA insider, has been poking around, asking around, getting news from team sources, and has the breakdown on exactly what is going on behind the scenes with the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm going to spoil it for you. It's really good for the New York Knicks and the idea and the possibility of Giannis being traded this offseason. Coming from Shams Charania of ESPN, last summer, general manager John Horst and coach Doc Rivers tried to sell Antetokounmpo and team ownership on contending in the Eastern Conference after waiving Damian Lillard. After back and forth discussions, including a meeting in Antetokounmpo's native Greece in late July, in which the New York Knicks became the only team he'd play for other than Milwaukee, and the Bucks refusing to move him, Giannis agreed to give the new roster a chance to grow. However, that chance did not last long. Of course, we are getting confirmed just one more time in case you didn't believe it. Last summer, the only team that Giannis was willing to play for was the New York Knicks, or at least the only team that he would be happy playing for. Of course, we know he clearly was willing to play for the Milwaukee Bucks, and he did play for the Milwaukee Bucks. However, he played a career-low 36 games. Part of it is the fact that he was injured. Part of it is the fact that he is being held out by the Milwaukee Bucks. One injury does not make you an injury-prone player. Giannis, yes, he's on the wrong side of 30. He is still a top 5 player in the NBA when he's healthy, and we expect him to be healthy because he has not had a ton of health problems in the past. Let's jump right back into this article. Within 2 weeks, the Bucks had lost humiliating games in Washington and Brooklyn, received an impassioned plea from one of their leaders, and were once again on the clock with their franchise icon. After dropping to 9-13 on December 1st, Antetokounmpo and his agent, Alex Sarasis, reopened conversations with Horst and reasserted the message that they had delivered since last May. The time had come to part ways. And Shams talked to a team source who said, when your best player is 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you are not going to win. Now, we know the Milwaukee Bucks are not winning basketball games, as they're currently not even in the play-in tournament for the Eastern Conference, which is just not a high bar to accomplish. The Milwaukee Bucks in the 2025-26 season, 31 victories, 47 defeats. Horrible season. No way to put it. Really, really bad season. Not the way that you will be hanging on to your franchise superstar that you are trying to convince to stick around. And is clearly having an effect on the locker room of the Milwaukee Bucks. People can see that Giannis does not want to be there. He is just half-heartedly there. I don't want to say he's being held hostage, because hostages don't get paid the way that Giannis Antetokounmpo is currently being paid. However, so far from this article, we have learned 2 things. First, we know for a fact that last offseason, Giannis said that he would only play for the New York Knicks. The next thing we know, that Giannis behind the scenes has been demanding a trade. Him and his agent, they asked for a trade. They just did not make it public. Now, we know in professional sports, the way to really put the pressure on the front office and ownership is to make that trade request public. However, we know Giannis Antetokounmpo is in a bit of a different situation, where it feels like his number one goal is to make sure that he is viewed positively by the fans after he moves on. However, we know that there's no way he's going to be viewed positively by everyone. If you are a Milwaukee Buck fan with a brain, you will view him positively, even if he demands a trade. If you don't have a brain, you are going to view him negatively, even if he demands a trade. And those negative fans who aren't smart enough to understand how great he's been for their franchise and understand why it's smart for him and the right thing for him to go, they are never going to be happy with you no matter what you do. There's no way to please them. The problem is when you are in front of millions of people, you want to make everyone happy. It is just unfortunately impossible. Jumping back to this article, because there is a ton of stuff here. From Shams Charania, Antetokounmpo expressed serious doubts and concerns about the Bucks roster months before the season started. It's why Antetokounmpo reiterated to the Bucks for a few months before the February 5th trade deadline that he was prepared to be moved. He declined to publicize a trade request, but he made it clear to all parties involved behind the scenes that he felt both sides needed to move on immediately, as the franchise was not in a position to compete. Giannis wanted to handle this professionally by being very upfront with the team, one source with direct knowledge of the situation said. This could have been a happy resolution, but instead may end up being a nasty breakup. The crux of the issue is feeling Giannis doesn't want to be here on any given day. Wow, that final line is the nail in the coffin. Your star player, team sources, people close to the situation are saying it feels like he doesn't want to be part of the organization. It doesn't get worse for that. This essentially confirms that Giannis will be traded over this offseason. And fortunately for us, the worse the situation gets, the lower and lower the value of Giannis Antetokounmpo gets, which makes it easier for the Knicks to make this trade happen. The other thing that makes it easier for the trade to happen is the fact that Giannis is currently in the second to last year of his deal. We can see 25-26 is where we currently are. Next year, his age 32 season, 26-7 is another year of Giannis. And then after that, for the 2027 season, Giannis has a player option, which means any team that he doesn't want to play for, they're only going to have Giannis for 1 year if they decide to trade for him. After next season, he can choose to either take the player option and remain on the same contract with the same team, or he can elect to test free agency. This means that whatever team needs that trades for him, they need to make sure that Giannis is happy to be there and he's going to pick up that player option. So you are trading for a player that you are going to get for at least 2 seasons. Now, we know this is something that makes it so teams are going to be significantly less likely to trade for Giannis, although it is not impossible for a team to trade for Giannis, take a chance with him, only staying 1 year and living with the outcome. That's what the Toronto Raptors did in 2019 when they traded DeMar DeRozan and other assets to the San Antonio Spurs to pick up Kawhi Leonard, even though Leonard was in a similar situation. The Toronto Raptors only had 1 year for Kawhi Leonard and he left in free agency. Sounds pretty bad. The part that I left out is in that 1 year that Kawhi Leonard had with the Toronto Raptors, they hoisted a Larry O'Brien trophy in the North. If that is what happens for a team who trades for Giannis and only gets him for 1 year, then it's a winning trade. The problem is that is extremely risky, not worth, in my eyes, the risk is not worth the reward, but then again, if I was in the position of Toronto, I would not have that championship because we would not have had Kawhi Leonard for that 1 season. So it's highly risky, but it has been done in the past. It is not the most outlandish thing in the world. But biggest takeaway here, Giannis is getting traded this offseason. Hopefully the Knicks remain his number 1 preferred destination, although we are hearing that he is looking at a couple other teams as well. Let's see how this thing breaks down. That's what I got for this video. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video all the way through. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Knicks.